Rejection is an unavoidable aspect of life, a reminder that we do not control everything in our external world. Yet within every rejection lies an opportunity to grow stronger, to sharpen our character, and to recalibrate our focus. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This is our guiding principle as we explore strategies to transform rejection into a powerful force for personal development. First, we must examine our perception. When faced with rejection, whether in a relationship, career, or personal endeavor, we tend to interpret it as an affront to our worth. But a key practice of Stoicism is to distinguish between what is within our control and what is not. We cannot control how others perceive us or their decisions. What we can control is how we frame the rejection. Rather than seeing it as a failure, see it as feedback, a neutral event that offers insight and clarity about what adjustments might be necessary. Another essential step is to detach your self-worth from the rejection. Often, rejection feels devastating because we internalize it, equating the event with a flaw in our character or value. But a Stoic knows that external circumstances do not define our inner value. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Use rejection as an opportunity to practice this realization. See it as a test of your ability to remain steadfast in your self-assurance. Rejection also teaches us the art of resilience. Imagine a boxer who steps into the ring expecting never to be hit. It's unrealistic. Similarly, we must step into life knowing setbacks will occur. The Stoics embrace discomfort and adversity as a means of fortifying the soul. When you are rejected, remind yourself that this is your training ground, a chance to develop the emotional fortitude to face life's unpredictability without crumbling. Next, reflect on the rejection with brutal honesty, but without self-judgment. Ask yourself, is there something I could have done differently? But do so without attaching blame or falling into regret. This process of self-inquiry is not about punishment, but refinement. Perhaps you were unprepared, or your approach lacked clarity. Use the rejection as a mirror and then commit to doing better next time. Practice gratitude for the clarity that rejection often brings. Many times, rejection redirects us from paths that were not truly aligned with our purpose or best interests. Think of it as a filter, stripping away distractions and false pursuits. By removing what is not meant for us, rejection forces us to focus on what truly matters. Another powerful Stoic strategy is to reframe the narrative. Instead of thinking, "This happened to me," shift to "This happened for me." Every rejection carries with it a hidden gift, a lesson, a chance to grow, or even a push toward a greater opportunity. Seneca wrote, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Use rejection as the friction that polishes your character. Turn rejection into motivation. Let it fuel your efforts rather than deplete your energy. Imagine someone rejecting your idea or effort. Instead of retreating in defeat, channel your energy into proving them wrong, not out of spite, but as an exercise in self-belief. Show yourself and others that you are undeterred, that rejection is merely a step on the path to success, not a barrier to it. Cultivate the practice of accepting impermanence. Rejection is often painful because it signals the end of something we desired. But Stoicism teaches us that everything in life is transient, from relationships to career opportunities. By accepting this truth, we can loosen our attachment to outcomes and approach rejection with a sense of detachment, knowing that no rejection is final or absolute. Find strength in community and shared experience. Recognize that rejection is not unique to you. It is a universal human experience. The Stoics often advised seeking wisdom from others who had faced similar challenges. Speak with someone who has endured and overcome rejection, and you will find solidarity, wisdom, and perhaps even inspiration. Develop patience and a long-term perspective. The immediate sting of rejection can obscure the bigger picture. Remember, life is not defined by one moment or one failure. The Stoic concept of amor fati, or loving one's fate, reminds us to embrace the totality of life, including its setbacks. Trust that the rejection you face now may serve a greater purpose in the grander scheme of your life. Use rejection as an opportunity to practice humility. Often, rejection can inflate our egos in reverse, leading us to brood over our perceived shortcomings or unfair treatment. But humility allows us to accept rejection gracefully, without resentment or bitterness. It reminds us that we are not entitled to success or validation from others. Instead, we are responsible for how we respond to what life delivers. Through these strategies, rejection ceases to be a source of pain and transforms into a wellspring of strength, growth, and clarity. By adopting a Stoic mindset, we turn what initially appears to be a setback into an essential stepping stone on our path to becoming better, wiser, and more resilient individuals. Rejection is not only an external event, it is also an opportunity for deep internal work. One crucial aspect of this work is aligning with your inner purpose. Rejection can serve as a wake-up call, nudging you to question whether your goals and efforts are truly aligned with your values. Ask yourself, am I pursuing this for the right reasons? Many of the things we desire, status, approval, material success, can lead us astray if they are not anchored in our core principles. Rejection then becomes a tool for realignment, forcing us to examine whether our actions reflect our higher selves or if we are chasing illusions. Equally important is cultivating indifference to external validation. Stoicism places immense value on the idea of living according to reason and virtue, independent of the opinions of others. When rejected, remind yourself that the rejection does not diminish your virtue, your effort, or your character. Instead, view it as a moment to practice ataraxia, or tranquility of the mind. Imagine that someone denies you a promotion. You might initially feel disappointment, but then ask yourself, have I done my best? Have I acted with integrity? If the answer is yes, no rejection can tarnish your inner peace. There is also power in actively seeking out rejection as a form of exposure therapy. This might sound counterintuitive, but consider the Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. By imagining potential setbacks in advance, we prepare ourselves mentally for life's inevitable challenges. Apply this concept by intentionally placing yourself in situations where rejection is a possibility. For example, submit work to a competitive contest or make a bold proposal that might be declined. Over time, you'll desensitize yourself to the sting of rejection, treating it as an ordinary occurrence rather than a devastating event. Rejection can also teach us about adaptability. In Stoic terms, life is not about bending the universe to our will, but about harmonizing with its flow. When we face rejection, we are often pushed to reconsider our plans, strategies, or even our dreams. Rather than resisting this redirection, embrace it as an opportunity to adapt. Ask yourself, what doors might this rejection be opening? What new paths can I explore? Some of history's greatest figures achieved their success not by clinging to their original plans, but by adapting to unforeseen circumstances. Another practice is to cultivate a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. Rejection can feel like a loss, but this perspective assumes there is only one opportunity, one relationship, or one path worth pursuing. A Stoic understands that life is filled with infinite possibilities, and that the rejection of one does not preclude the arrival of another. When you're turned down for a job or opportunity, remind yourself that the universe is vast and opportunities abound. This mindset not only eases the pain of rejection, but also encourages a sense of hope and openness to what lies ahead. Reflect also on the impermanence of both rejection and success. The pain of rejection, like all emotions, will pass. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, observe always that everything is the result of change, and get used to thinking that there is nothing nature loves so well as to change existing forms and to make new ones like them. This means that today's rejection may give way to tomorrow's triumph, or to something even more meaningful than what you initially desired. Trust in the dynamic nature of life. Use rejection as a teacher of equanimity. Imagine yourself as a calm, immovable tree in the face of a storm. When rejection hits, let it bend your branches but not break your roots. This inner stillness comes from understanding that the rejection is external. It has no power to harm your inner sanctuary unless you grant it permission. Practice responding to rejection with gratitude, saying silently to yourself, "Thank you for this lesson. Thank you for this opportunity to grow." Rejection can also deepen our empathy. Experiencing rejection firsthand helps us understand the pain and vulnerability of others who face similar experiences. This shared understanding fosters compassion, allowing us to connect more deeply with others. Use your rejection as a bridge to kindness. Consider mentoring someone, supporting a peer, or simply listening to someone else's struggles. This outward focus not only alleviates your own sense of rejection, but also transforms it into a force for good. When rejected, it's helpful to remember the Stoic teaching that life is like a play. We are all actors assigned different roles. You are not responsible for the casting choices or the script. What matters is how you perform your part. If rejection occurs, see it as the director reassigning your role, not because you failed, but because another part of the story requires your attention. Your task is to fulfill your new role with excellence and dignity, regardless of the circumstances. Another profound practice is to look at rejection as a mirror for your emotional reactions. The Stoics valued emotional self-mastery, understanding that our feelings are the result of our judgments about events, not the events themselves. When you feel hurt or disappointed by rejection, ask yourself, what story am I telling myself about this event? Perhaps the story is, I'm not good enough, or I'll never succeed. Recognize that these are interpretations, not facts. Challenge them and replace them with narratives that empower you, such as, this is a stepping stone, or this doesn't define me. Rejection can even inspire a sense of creative problem solving. Use it as a prompt to think outside the box, to innovate, and to explore alternative ways to achieve your goals. The Stoics believed in the power of reason to overcome obstacles. Instead of lamenting a closed door, ask, how else can I enter? Is there another door, a window, or even a different building entirely? This mindset turns rejection into a spark for ingenuity. By embracing these practices, you come to see rejection not as a failure, but as a vital part of your journey toward wisdom, resilience, and fulfillment. With each rejection, you grow stronger, more adaptable, and more aligned with your higher self. The pain may linger, but the growth it sparks will last a lifetime. Rejection also provides an unparalleled opportunity to practice detachment from outcomes. In Stoic philosophy, this practice is crucial. The essence of detachment is focusing on effort rather than results. Epictetus wisely advises that we should attach value to the process, not the reward. When you are rejected after pouring your time and energy into something, ask yourself, did I do my best? Did I give everything I could to this endeavor? If the answer is yes, the rejection becomes inconsequential. Your worth lies not in what you achieved, but in the integrity and effort you brought to the process. By practicing detachment, you allow yourself to act without being paralyzed by fear of failure. Another vital lesson rejection offers is humility. While we often think of humility as something we offer to others, it is equally something we give to ourselves. Rejection humbles us, reminding us that we are not perfect, not omnipotent, and not entitled to always succeed. Instead of resisting this humbling process, embrace it. Let it strip away arrogance or entitlement and replace them with gratitude and a renewed commitment to self-improvement. Humility also encourages openness to learning, which is essential in navigating the path forward after rejection. Rejection can also be seen as a test of patience. It's human nature to desire immediate gratification, but life seldom aligns with our timelines. When faced with rejection, reflect on the Stoic practice of delaying gratification. Remind yourself that some of the greatest successes are built on the foundation of patience. Use rejection as an opportunity to cultivate this virtue. Tell yourself, I will wait and prepare. If not now, then later. And if not later, then I will still act with virtue and purpose. Another transformative strategy is to use rejection to clarify your priorities. Many of us pursue goals or relationships out of habit, societal pressure, or fear of missing out. Rejection forces us to confront the question, was this truly what I wanted, or was I chasing something because I thought I should? Sometimes rejection serves as a blessing, redirecting us away from paths that don't genuinely align with our values. By reflecting on this, you can make more intentional choices moving forward. Developing gratitude for adversity is a hallmark of Stoic resilience. Seneca believed that hardship, including rejection, is a natural and necessary part of life. He stated, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." Rejection is not just a setback, it is a teacher that reveals the limits of your current capacity and invites you to expand beyond them. Each rejection offers a chance to refine your skills, deepen your knowledge, or cultivate new approaches. Instead of resisting this, embrace it with gratitude for the opportunity to grow stronger and wiser. Another practice is to focus on the broader perspective of life's unpredictability. Stoics frequently meditated on the randomness of life's events, recognizing that outcomes often depend on factors beyond our control. Rejection is sometimes not about you at all. It may be the result of timing, circumstances, or decisions made by others based on their own needs or limitations. By internalizing this broader view, you free yourself from the burden of taking rejection personally. This perspective fosters forgiveness, both toward yourself and those who rejected you, enabling you to move forward with a lighter heart. Rejection also encourages us to reevaluate what success means to us. In a world that often equates success with external validation, money, titles, relationships, Stoicism teaches us to seek internal success, defined by virtue, wisdom, and tranquility. Use rejection as a reminder to shift your focus inward. Ask yourself, am I living in alignment with my values? Am I acting with integrity, courage, and reason? If the answer is yes, then rejection cannot diminish your true success. The practice of mindfulness can also be a powerful tool in transforming rejection into a positive force. When rejected, it's easy to spiral into negative thoughts, replaying the event or imagining worst-case scenarios. Instead, bring yourself into the present moment. Focus on your breath. Observe your emotions without judgment, and remind yourself that the sting of rejection is temporary. By anchoring yourself in the present, you create space between the rejection and your response, allowing you to choose a measured, rational course of action. Rejection can also serve as a powerful reminder of your resilience. Look back on your life and identify other moments when you faced rejection or failure. Notice how, despite the pain at the time, you found a way to move forward, adapt, and even thrive. This retrospective practice not only reinforces your resilience, but also helps you trust in your ability to overcome future challenges. Each rejection becomes another chapter in your story of perseverance and growth. Turn rejection into an opportunity for service. Instead of dwelling on what you lost, consider how you can use your experience to help others. Perhaps your rejection taught you a valuable lesson that could benefit someone else facing a similar situation. Share your insights, mentor someone, or simply lend an empathetic ear to someone struggling with rejection. This act of turning your pain into a source of support for others not only lessens your own burden, but also transforms rejection into a force for collective growth. By integrating these strategies into your life, rejection ceases to be a roadblock and becomes a catalyst for personal and spiritual evolution. Each rejection carries within it the seed of transformation, challenging you to rise above, to recalibrate, and to strive toward becoming the best version of yourself. Through Stoic practice, you can face rejection not with fear or despair, but with courage, gratitude, and unwavering determination. Rejection, when embraced fully, becomes one of life's most profound and transformative teachers. Each moment of rejection invites us to cultivate self-awareness, a cornerstone of Stoic practice. Self-awareness allows us to step back and observe not only the rejection itself, but also the layers of emotion and thought it triggers within us. This introspection is invaluable. Ask yourself, what am I truly feeling right now? Is it disappointment, fear, anger, or perhaps a sense of inadequacy? By naming and understanding your emotions, you disarm their power. Stoicism teaches us that emotions are not inherently negative. They only become so when they dominate our reason. Rejection gives us the chance to master this balance. The mastery of emotions through rejection also brings us closer to the practice of eudaimonia, or human flourishing. Flourishing, according to Stoic thought, does not come from the absence of pain, but from the ability to live in harmony with nature, reason, and virtue despite the pain. Each rejection pushes us toward this ideal, serving as a crucible in which we refine our ability to act with wisdom and courage. Rejection reminds us that life is not about avoiding hardship, but about navigating it with dignity and grace. Rejection also sharpens our understanding of our desires. Often, we think we want something deeply, only to discover that the pursuit of that goal was rooted in superficial motivations, a desire to impress others, to fit societal expectations, or to seek validation. Rejection forces us to strip away these layers and confront the question, why did I want this in the first place? This questioning process leads to clarity. Perhaps the rejection reveals that the goal was never truly aligned with your deeper values. In this way, rejection acts as a compass, pointing you toward a more authentic and fulfilling path. Another benefit of rejection is that it teaches us to practice non-resistance. As humans, our instinct is to fight against or resist what we do not like. But resistance often exacerbates suffering. The Stoics taught us to practice amor fati, to love one's fate, to embrace all that happens, including rejection, as necessary parts of the whole. When you encounter rejection, instead of resisting it or wishing it away, ask yourself, how can I embrace this experience fully? By welcoming rejection as part of your journey, you transform it from an adversary into an ally. Rejection also calls us to reflect on the nature of control. The Stoics emphasize that the only things truly within our control are our thoughts, actions, and responses. Rejection often feels painful because it reminds us of the limits of our control. No matter how much effort we put into something, we cannot control how others respond or the outcome of external events. Yet, this realization is freeing. It allows us to focus our energy on what truly matters, our internal state and the quality of our actions, rather than wasting it on trying to control the uncontrollable. This understanding of control also connects to the Stoic practice of voluntary hardship. By willingly exposing ourselves to discomfort, we build resilience and prepare for life's inevitable challenges. Rejection, though often unwelcome, serves as an unintentional form of hardship. Each time we face it, we have the opportunity to strengthen our ability to endure, to rise above discomfort, and to remain steadfast in the face of adversity. Rejection then becomes a training ground for resilience, fortifying us for greater challenges ahead. One profound aspect of rejection is its ability to strip away illusions. It forces us to confront the reality of imperfection in ourselves, in others, and in the world around us. This confrontation is uncomfortable, but liberating. It helps us see the world more clearly, free from the distortions of ego, expectation, or entitlement. In this way, rejection humbles us, bringing us closer to the Stoic ideal of living in accordance with nature, which includes embracing both the highs and lows of life without distortion or denial. Rejection also teaches us to let go of attachments. Many of our desires and pursuits are fueled by attachment, not just to outcomes, but also to specific people, roles, or identities. Rejection challenges these attachments and invites us to release them. When we let go of clinging to what was or what might have been, we create space for new possibilities to emerge. This act of letting go is not about giving up, but about trusting in the natural flow of life, knowing that each rejection is part of a larger tapestry we cannot yet fully see. Another powerful practice is to use rejection as an opportunity to cultivate gratitude for the effort itself. Too often, we tie our sense of fulfillment to whether or not our efforts succeed. But the Stoics remind us to value the process over the outcome. When you are rejected, take a moment to reflect on and celebrate the courage it took to try, the lessons you learned along the way, and the growth you experienced in the process. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lost to what you gained, allowing you to move forward with a sense of empowerment rather than defeat. Rejection also helps us confront the fear of failure. Many of us avoid taking risks or pursuing our dreams because we fear the sting of rejection. But each time we face rejection and survive, we diminish this fear. We realize that rejection is not the catastrophic event we imagined it to be, but a manageable and even beneficial part of life. Over time, this realization emboldens us to take greater risks and pursue our goals with less hesitation. In this way, rejection becomes a stepping stone to greater courage and ambition. Rejection invites us to practice kindness toward ourselves and others. When we are rejected, it's easy to fall into self-criticism or to blame those who rejected us. But Stoicism teaches us to approach all situations with compassion. Be gentle with yourself, acknowledging that rejection is a universal human experience and not a reflection of your worth. Extend this kindness to those who rejected you, recognizing that their decision likely reflects their own needs, limitations, or circumstances rather than a judgment of your value. In these ways, rejection becomes not just something to endure, but something to embrace. It is a force that, when approached with a Stoic mindset, shapes us into wiser, stronger, and more virtuous individuals. Each rejection, no matter how painful, is a step on the path to becoming the person you were meant to be, a person of resilience, clarity, and unshakable inner strength. In the end, rejection is not an enemy but a teacher. It strips away illusions, refines our character, and redirects us toward our true purpose. Through the lens of Stoicism, we see rejection not as a failure, but as an opportunity, a chance to practice resilience, humility, and gratitude. Each rejection becomes a stepping stone, guiding us closer to the person we are meant to be. It is in these moments of discomfort that we find the greatest growth, transforming pain into power and setbacks into stepping stones. If this message resonated with you and you're inspired to face rejection with a Stoic mindset, let's continue this journey together. Like this video to show your support, share it with someone who might need encouragement today, and subscribe to this channel for more wisdom to help you live a resilient, purpose-driven life. Thank you for being here. Together, we grow stronger.